Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
As we're doing this show, it is in the morning. As a matter of fact, right now, exactly 8:33 a.m., which means nothing if you're watching this on cable like a lot of y'all do. You're thinking it's 7:35 right now or it's 10:35. Here's what happened today on Wednesday, the 9th of January. Winter came back in fury, and I do not have gloves, and I was walking from my vehicle, my dad van, my Toyota Sienna from Toyota Muscatine, walking from the dad van to the door here at Hy-Vee, and my hands were freezing. And I don't know if it's because I've lost over 100 pounds and my sausage hands are not quite as sausagey, if I may, if you'll have it. But I was freezing, and I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and I was like, I have to hang up because I think I'm going to drop my phone. I had a bunch of other stuff in my hands. I was doing this move when you're carrying stuff, and you're like, And I was like, oh my gosh, it's freezing. I think I need a new coat and a scarf. Does anybody have gloves? Ryan, do you have gloves I could borrow? Wow. I don't know why I don't have... See, the thing is, I don't want, like, the typical winter gloves, you put them on, and they make your hands this big, and you can't do anything with it, right? You have those gloves. You probably had them more as a kid. I should just get the kid gloves where it makes you look like a penguin, and you just have the thumb moving around, and then you got this thing. I think that would be called a mitten. I just need mittens, right? I used to have I just want, like, a sleek, I need a sleek glove, a sleek winter glove that I could still text with and drive with. Like a leather glove, but not the OJ glove. But something that'll keep your hands warm. If anybody has any recommendations, I'm sure that we have gloves for sale. You know what, Betsy and Cody? Didn't know what to do with the cart cam today. Betsy would tell you that what I told her was, just show donuts. I'm changing that plan up. I want you to find me some gloves here in the store. Okay? I think there's a display near the CBI Bank and Trust entrance. I'm pointing a lot today. It's my Sicilian blood coming out. A lot of pointing. I would love, I already got the Unity Point Health Trinity Muscatine Public Health pop socket. I wouldn't mind if my friends at Public Health had gloves. Why is that not a thing? Now, every time I take my kids to the doctor, I do the thing that my wife hates where I put on the doctor gloves and then I blow it up a little bit. My wife gets so annoyed. I don't know why. It's a trigger for her. But every time we're at Cindy Burr's office and I do that move, she's like, can you stop? Maybe it's because I'm 35. That could be the reason. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep doing it. So I'm going to ask our guests first question. Jacob Dornbush and Jamie McLean are here with Unity Point Health, Trinity Muscatine Public Health. Do you have any gloves for me?
No, I didn't bring you any.
Darn it!
We
Jacob.
actually have exam gloves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, got some in the car.
The powder coated. You have some in the car?
Yeah.
Do you? Are you required to just have a box on your person at all times?
Yes.
Always.
And you drive with them is what you do. You put them on and you go for a little Sunday cruise. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Did you know that I had that great pop socket, by the way?
We did not.
Are you jealous that it is an I Smile pop socket?
I actually have one, so not on my phone right now, but yeah.
Not on your phone. What do you use the pop socket for?
My
Coffee
daughter
cup?
has it right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Okay, you're a nice father. I
Stick it
get
on
that.
her forehead.
Get over here. It's not a bad idea. All right, so we're going to talk about some family planning services that are offered with public health here in Muscatine. So a conversation that sometimes can make people uncomfortable. I have 3 kids now. I have a 6-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 3-month-old. I know that eventually the conversation is going to come up. And I don't want to think that it's going to be an awkward one in our house when you kind of talk about... I actually said the birds and the bees the other day on this show, and somebody giggled. It was probably Ryan right there. These are local giggles. But you're able to go out and talk about family planning, and I wonder, is that setting primarily in schools, or is it in other places? So however you want to, let's just start with talking about how you're able to get out into the community and talk about family planning.
Yeah, so we are in every school, middle school and high school, to some capacity in Muscatine County. And then we're also in Durant, and we serve middle school and high school
Great.
there as well.
Okay.
That's where we're at the bulk of the year.
Sure.
However, we also do a lot of various community presentations in a variety of settings. We just went down to Tyson in Columbus Junction. We do some education in various workplace settings, any other place that invites us. That's why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. To let people know that you're available to come and present. So I'm assuming that it's a different presentation when you're with the 5th grade class, right? I mean, I think I've said this before that, yeah, I did. I was on a field trip in 5th grade, and I got a detention on a field trip. We were at Robert Crown Institute in Chicago learning about sexual health, and I giggled at something and I got a detention. That's like my claim to fame. But I also learned a lot, and what I wanted to tell my teacher as she was writing the detention on the field trip is that, like, it's just one of those words that when you're in 5th grade and you hear the word, it's just, I don't know. I don't think I was the only person that was giggling, right? So when you're in the 5th grade class, I guess, what have you found, how do you keep their attention, right? 2018 is so much different than it was in 1994 or 5 when that was me. So what have you had to change things a little bit to capture their attention more when you're presenting to them?
I have found, and I just started recently, so I found that the kids, I don't really have to keep their attention. We have to keep on track because 5th grade, there's a lot of questions there, but they are so curious to know all of the information. They want to know, they've heard a bit about it, or especially nowadays, a lot of folks have a lot of access to social media.
Right.
They're talking with their friends, and the information they can be getting from that might not be, one, very healthy for them, and it probably isn't as accurate as we'd like it to be. And all of our information is age appropriate and medically accurate. We work really hard to make sure that this is going to be appropriate for whoever we're talking to.
Sure, absolutely.
And that everything that they get out of it is going to be applicable if they, need to talk to someone in the future, whether it's a parent, a doctor, a friend.
Yep.
We want to make sure that's available. And they're so curious that I've never had a problem with trying to keep their attention. It's just trying to stay on track and get through the lesson in the time frame, because again, so many questions, we can't get to all of it at once, unfortunately.
I'm glad that you said that you have to keep it age appropriate, because you don't want to, I don't know if overwhelm is the right word, because again, with the advent of technology and smartphones, I mean, a 5th grader, I can't even think of the fact that most 5th graders probably have a cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone until I was a freshman in college, which wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So, but the reality is, I mean, a lot of this information they could view themselves, but what you said is so true, Jamie, is that it's probably not the best or the most accurate, let alone age appropriate. So that's really nice to hear that that's something that you take into account as you prepare to go into the school. So for that initial, I mean, is it like a couple of weeks that you'll be in a 5th grade classroom and then you move on to a different school? How long is the program that you bring to the schools?
Yeah, so the program lengths vary depending on the age of the students, what grade we're in. So in 5th grade, we usually we're present for a couple days, 2-day talk, and we'll talk about puberty. That's usually the main talk that we'll have in 5th grade. 6th through 8th, it's 6 is a 5-day program, and then 7th and 8th is a 7-day program. And then we also do high school. And in high school, we have a 5-day program with an optional additional 5 days that we can provide education.
It's fantastic. So, adolescent sexual health counselor is one heck of a title, by the way, right? That's a way better title than mine. Almost as long as mine, though. Barely fits on a name tag, as I'm noticing. You got a lot of abbreviations, right?
Yeah.
So, was it something that you both, like, what did you study? Like, how did you find yourself in this role? I mean, is it something that while you were in school, you were like, I want to get into the health field, probably, but then did you sort of narrow in your focus, or?
I'll let you start.
Yeah. So, prior to this, I did some substance abuse prevention education in Waterloo, and Muscatine's my hometown. Honestly, this job was available, and I'm like, let's throw it out there and try it. but it's such a privilege to share this information with kids.
Sure.
And because they're starving for this information. They don't have these conversations with their parents because for some it's really uncomfortable. And so knowing that they can have that trusted adult to talk to and open up that conversation to start to normalize it so that they can have those conversations with their parents later on. That's what really drew me into this. So no, I didn't go to school for this. I got my master's in social work
Good for you.
from UNI, but definitely not my intention to go into this field.
Yeah, sure.
Jamie, it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
She started about 6 months ago.
Okay.
And she's like the only person we could have hired for this position, like hands down. She was the only one that ever walked in and said, "This is my dream job. This is what I want."
Good for you.
True.
That's great.
Really true. Yeah.
Wow. So it's like like a dream come true to be able to do what you do every day.
Absolutely. I just graduated in the spring from Augustana College up in Rock Island.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
That was great.
I went to St. Ambrose. We can still be friends.
We can still be friends. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Sort of.
Yeah. It's whatever. We're on camera, so we can't do
Friend of
anything
me.
about it.
Well, it's my show. Go Bees. Vikings, we're
Hey,
fine. I have two cousins that are Augustana graduates.
There you go, there you
recently.
go.
Yeah.
But I have to say, Augustana was a really good place. My freshman year was in a completely different program,
Sure.
completely different subject matter. I had a really amazing professor
Awesome.
who set me up with an internship with another clinic kind of like ours up in the Quad Cities. And I realized, wow, this is what I want to do. And to be able to come into this position right after graduating was
Tremendous.
Absolutely. Yesterday was my birthday, and I spent the day doing HIV and Hep C testing with a
my
partner
gosh.
from Scott County Public
Yeah.
Health, and it was like the best birthday present I could have had. It went really well.
Well, you
So-
said before we started that your grandpa is a doctor, right? So, I mean, you have, I don't know if anybody else in your family is in the medical field, but it seems like,
My dad's a doctor, but he's a doctor of philosophy, so that's a different thing.
wow.
So
So the conversations with your dad could get deep at some point.
they can, yeah.
What is your birthday? Did he say that to you yesterday? Your dad, like, do we even need a birthday? You're like, Dad, it's my birthday, and I'm saving lives potentially. That's a great way to spend your birthday, by the way.
I told my friend what I was
gosh,
doing. She's
yeah.
like, that's probably the most you thing you could do on your birthday. So.
You do you. You're like, literally, I'm going to
Yeah.
go. But right, I mean, this is perfect, right?
Absolutely.
That's so great. But I like the different walks of life and the experience and understanding that you're able to get in there and, yes, have a conversation that maybe isn't happening at home, be a good resource, and to have kids take it seriously. I imagine that, the puberty conversation, we talk about that, Jacob, for a second. Puberty happened for the majority of my friends and I in 6th grade. And I remember, I think I was in class when my voice got lower. Like I cleared my throat and it was this. And I was like, whoa. And it was such a fun time. Everybody also had braces in 6th grade and I didn't, which was a little, one time in my life I was jealous that I didn't have braces. If you would have looked at a class picture from 1996 or 97, I was maybe one of 2 kids that didn't have braces. But puberty for sure kind of came out of nowhere for a lot of us. I've always been awkwardly tall. But yeah, I mean, that's got to be something that a lot of 5th graders are struggling with. And if you're struggling with it and you don't feel comfortable having a conversation at home, and maybe it's one of those subjects that you're not sure if you can broach with your friends, that's where a great resource like both of you comes into play. And I imagine that after you've done some of the work in schools, maybe you're approached by students that have one-on-one questions or want to have a conversation. That's probably fair, right?
Absolutely. And so there's a lot of rapport building that
Sure.
goes into this education with the youth. And honestly, on the first day, there's a lot of crickets in the classroom.
Yeah, right.
But after you start building that rapport, they become more comfortable asking the questions. Another thing that we do with the youth is we have a shoebox. It's
Okay.
a question box. And so at the end of every class, what they can do is they can drop in these questions anonymously.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Which is kind of a double-edged sword because you get some really good
Sure.
questions, and then the other questions, I think they just want to hear me say certain words. And sometimes I do, and I haven't gotten fired
Oh,
yet.
no, you got to have the self-edit on the card. I mean, but right. I don't think that would have been me in 5th grade trying to make you laugh, because I would have been the one, again, giggling over the But it is an important thing to have. I feel like as you get, and maybe this is something I can offer, when you go to high school and you're talking to the kids about family planning, and you say, listen, kids, sex is fine, but take Tony's 3-month-old daughter and change that poop diaper one time. Do you want this in your life right now? You're in high school. And you know what they're going to say? No way. And they're going to stop with the sex business. Look at that right there. 2 of my kids. Look at how. So I put that on Facebook the other day. The giant one is Ted, who's 4 now. He essentially weighs as much. So that's Ted at 5 weeks. Weighs as much as my 3-month-old daughter with the perfect pajamas on. So that's all they need, right? Why don't you hire me part-time and I roll in with my 3 kids and I go, you want to deal with this? Have you thought about that as a way to get, I mean, talking about sex, safe sex, maybe you just don't want to have sex because, and my kids are great, I love them. But you think that would be an effective teaching tool?
I think from the way a lot of our stuff is structured through a curriculum, which we have to follow to fidelity. It's really great stuff. It's researched really well. We've made sure that, you know, the schools are on board with it to make sure that the parents know what's going on. And we really want to take the approach of not assuming that students are doing anything, honestly. We don't want to ever come in making an assumption that students are having sex or are not having sex. Our role primarily is to be that source of that factual information. And this information, you know, some folks are like, well, they're, you know, you're talking to 5th graders, and if someone asks a question, like, why do they need to know that now? And that's actually true for a lot of folks, no matter their age. Maybe that's not a part of their life right now, but it could be in the future. Or as when I went through school, it was a lot of peer education. A lot of people ask their friends, and I want to make sure that when someone leaves our class, that they're feeling that not only can they advocate for themselves and they know what to expect no matter what they go through in life, that they can help support the people around them, family and friends too. So we try to maintain a kind of like holistic approach with this.
No, that's Holly. Don't let her leave. She's smart. This is what you get with the Augustana kids. That's the St. Ambrose kids want you to take the kid with the poopy diaper to class.
I mean, we do have screaming robot babies. That
you have robot babies? I have a real one you can borrow for a nominal fee. What about a 4-year-old? You know they say terrible twos. Jacob, you said you have kids.
Yeah,
what
she's
age?
2.
2? 2 is not bad. 4, I got told to shut up the other day, and I was like, I'm sorry. When a little person, first of all, it's hilarious, but you can't laugh. As a dad, you have to go, what did you say? Shut up. I'm like, don't say that. That's not cool. I'm swallowing a laugh. That's what's happening there. What about just taking my 4-year-old into the 5th grade class, or probably into high school? It'd be more. He would love the 5th grade class. He'd have fun, high five the kids. But no, you're right. Yes, making sure that you're not assuming that they're doing anything. That makes total sense, right? And I hope that there's not parents out there that are thinking 5th grade seems too early. It's maybe not early enough, right? Again, with access and misinformation everywhere. That's, again, where public health is like, no, we're going to show up and we're going to give you factual information so that you can have factual-based conversations and not as much. You're right, because I'm with you. Peer learning was a real thing for sure, but you want to be able to find some truths in that as well, because any peer experience is probably embellished a little bit, especially in that 5th grade age, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes going on. It's a really exciting time for people, and they want to learn, and we really just want to make sure they're set up for success, whatever that's going to look like throughout their life. And if something goes unexpectedly, we also want them to know exactly who they can turn to, where they can go for whatever type of support they need in the community. And we're not just representing public health in that. We're also making sure we're connecting folks to other community partners as well who do these services, whether it's within like the hospital or like, you know, other providers in the area, social services. We want to make sure that people come out really well prepared.
What about for the parents that are, bless you, Ryan, who just sneezed off camera, the parents that are struggling with having these conversations at home? Are there resources available that you have at Public Health that you could provide them, materials, conversation, I mean, pointers, right? I mean, ways that they can take what you're doing in the classroom and then not feel intimidated or awkward about those conversations at home?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, we just got trained on a new program that we're looking to offer in the community to parents. The program is called Nurturing Healthy Sexual Development.
Okay.
And so it talks about what healthy sexual development looks like from infant to adulthood.
Wow. Okay.
And we're looking to offer that shortly here, probably early spring, in a variety of community-based settings. And in that education, we're, one, normalizing the conversation and talking to the parents about how they can have these conversations with their youth. It's a challenge for us when we go into the schools with some parents, right?
Sure.
And rightfully so. We're talking to their kids about a very sensitive topic. But I think among some parents, there is that concern that when you see our title, when you see our badge,
Right.
You're talking to our kids about sex. You're going to talk to them about how to maybe engage in that activity or whatnot.
Oh my gosh.
And that's absolutely not the case. And so the goal of that program is, one, to explain what we do, and two, to normalize that conversation so that when they come to us in the classroom, this isn't the first time that they've heard this information.
Yeah, and I love what we're seeing on the screen. Confidential services for teenagers, testing and treatments. Should anybody be worried about STIs? Did that replace STD? Is it STI now? Is that what it's called?
It depends on what entity. The
Okay.
CDC will still use STD, sexually transmitted disease. Some other places will use sexually transmitted infection.
Okay.
They are both all talking about the same sort of
thing.
concerns.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just have seen that more, and I'm like, is that?
Some folks find it less stigmatizing to use infection rather than disease. Can have some connotations that we think about that can be kind of scary.
Sure.
So sometimes infection is a little bit more
that makes
comfortable for folks.
total sense. Public health, a ton of services. I mean, we've had folks on this show from not all the different services that are available, but certainly a lot of them. And I'm glad that we were able to have a conversation like this today to help normalize it. That's a word that I want to keep coming back to, because that's exactly what this is all about, is not having the feeling of being uncomfortable talking about sexual health with our children or amongst ourselves. Certainly as we age, right? I mean, it can still be an awkward thing to have a conversation about.
Conversations with folks in their 90s.
Wow.
And it's always a really great experience.
In their 90s?
In their 90s, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's always amazing. I've always had, every time that I've had the opportunity to sit down with folks and talk about the subject, it starts off a little awkward. I totally understand. But we always end up talking about some really great things, and all of us, like myself included, learn a lot just from talking about it.
You are perfect for this job. You can't leave. You can't go anywhere. Stick around forever. I just love the passion. I get the sense right away. I mean, you're doing what you're meant to do, and I hope you just continue to do it and impact as many lives. I mean, that's something that you probably, I don't know if you understand the impact of what you're doing has on folks, but it's pretty powerful, right? I mean, and you may hear about it, or if you don't hear about it, I hope you know that it's very real, right? That whether or not you're getting the blank stare from a high school class or fifth grade class or whomever it is, I guarantee you they're hearing you, right? They're going to cling on to one or two things or all of the things that you're saying, and it'll hopefully set them up for success as they get older and not feeling uncomfortable. I mean, I had friends in high school that were so enamored with relationships, and most of them, I don't know, they would break up and they'd fight, and I don't think I dated at all during high school, right? I was like, I'm just going to have fun with my friends. And not that my friends that were in relationships were miserable, but I seemed to be having a better time than they were, right? So I just think healthy relationships, sexual health, for sure, these are things. Mental health at the same time, like all of these conversations that still have a weird stigma attached to it. We need to stop that, right? We need to stop it, because we talk about so much other stuff so openly and freely. But when it gets to a couple subjects, it's like, whoa, I don't know about that. I feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, really? You know?
It's really hard. In our society, we have to deal with, we get a lot of mixed messages about when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate, but when it comes to the health and well-being of folks of any age, we really want to make sure that, again, they have that space and that person to turn to. Maybe it's not someone so close to them, maybe that's not comfortable for them. They can come talk to us, or they can talk to a medical care provider too. And it's really hard, but I've really seen as people become more exposed, they realize it's not that scary.
No.
And there's a lot of things that we can do to make this more comfortable, and it makes me super happy.
I really hope that I'm able to have, I sit here and I can talk about it. Maybe it'll be different in my own house, but I don't want to have my kids ever feel like there's something that they can't conversate about at home, especially when it comes to something that a friend said. And not that I know everything, but I certainly would know enough to be able to call, to spot something that a peer said and say, well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. And I just hope that you guys continue to get into the classrooms. So are you into any classrooms this week as we sit here?
Yes.
We're here on the 9th of January. Do you have to go to any schools after you leave here?
I'm going to Wilton later today.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
It's their last day for 8th grade.
All right.
Yeah.
Last 8th graders, huh?
Yeah, and they're great. This class has been awesome.
That's good.
No, I am completely honest. I got their little anonymous question box, and they had really great questions. They're a really good class. They participate a lot.
Do you have any examples of a question that you could share with us? I mean, I don't know. Is there
They're all anonymous, so there's no, and it's just
Yeah.
a general question.
Yeah.
Do you have?
Yeah. So my favorite question that I've ever gotten, when I go in and I do the education with the youth, I tell them, if you have any questions, I've got a business card here, you can call the office.
Sure.
And I'll say, if you don't remember my name, it's okay. You can just ask for the only guy in the office.
Are you literally the only guy in your office?
I am, and so that's the question that was in the box. Literally, you're the only one?
Wow.
Yeah, that was the best one I ever got.
You were the only guy at public health? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Holly, what's the deal? I feel like this is very discriminatory over there. We need more guys. That's why you need part-time sex ed tone right here. Show up.
Come on in.
Bring the 4-year-old. Like, you want to deal with this? You want to deal with this kid? Look at this kid. You want to deal with him? Stop this already. That's my lesson. It's
We'll bring
very
you in
brief.
as a guest speaker.
Yeah. We need some testosterone in the office. You're open now? Okay. Only from St. Ambrose, though. You're going to start hiring men from St. Ambrose.
I'm going to have to put up my Augie banner now.
Oh, you see there.
Holy cow, look at all the ladies.
Yeah. You know what? So the
Jacob, you are literally the only.
I know. So I have the title. This is good though. I have the title of the most attractive guy in the office.
You
By
do.
default. Purely by default.
You see that?
Look at that picture. I'm so happy that
tell
I
me
know
about
the
Frank.
majority of folks that are in that photo. All right, you heard it here first. Public health only hiring men moving forward. Welcome to the 20s, everybody. Times are changing. From St. Ambrose, and they're all going to have derby caps on and talk like this. See? Wow, you're the only guy. Good for you.
I am.
That's awesome. My wife is happy that we have a daughter at home now. Because for a while, it was like living with fraternity brother. That's what a 4-year-old boy is a fraternity brother. 100%. That's exactly what he is.
I'm hoping minus the alcohol, because we talk about underage drinking.
Yes, no, 100%. I don't even want to think about mixing that up. It would be bad. I don't want to. It would be bad. I feel like I got a lot of stuff coming my way as they get older. There they are, Mario and Luigi. Look at Luigi. You can just tell. He's evil. He is dense in the sense that he is a solid, stout man. He is going to be the kid that I get the call and they're like, Mr. Lokensoll? And they're like, uh-huh. Theodore's in the office. I'll be right there. But he'll probably go on to change the world, All right. Thank you both for being here. Awkward fist bump because of the blister on my hand. Can we get a Band-Aid for my blister? What do you think? Can I get a public health Band-Aid? And what do I need? Public health gloves, a Band-Aid, maybe a new pop socket.
We got pop sockets.
Thank you.
We'll hook you up. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I need all this stuff, obviously. I'm very needy. Thank you for doing what you do. It's important, and I hope that you understand that even on the days when you leave a school and you're like, I'm sure that there's those moments where you're like, is it really worth it? It is. It is. I know that it is, and I'm excited for my kids to progress through the school system and to be, just a couple years away from my oldest, to be experiencing this presentation, and I hope that he comes home and is comfortable enough to have a conversation with us, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we want to do. And let's say it together, Jamie. Ready? Go fighting bees. I don't know what to say, she says. There's such a good rivalry between St. Ambrose and Augustana. It's very real, isn't it?
And I was on the golf team for 1 year, and I'm not even that, much of a school spirit type of person. So.
Well, what they say about people at Augustana, they all have knives. That's what they say about her. So she has her Viking knife.
I do actually have a knife.
See, she does have a knife. Hot take. You heard it here first. Am I wrong? Was I wrong? No. All right. It's all love. Poor Jamie. She's like, I don't know what I can say and not say. All right. We'll get them back to work. They got to go back to work. Good luck in Wilton today. Hope it goes well.
Thank you.
With those 8th graders. That makes me feel old because I feel like I was just in 8th grade. Let's go CBI Bank and Trust Aisle Cam, and we'll get these guys out of here. It is Wednesday. It is another Wellness Wednesday. We're looking at the health market, ladies and gents. I love where the camera is set up. You can see that sign with the vitamins, right? We've got literally an aisle side to side loaded with vitamins, the most amount of vitamins in Muscatine, bar none, right? If you need any type of vitamin, we can get you taken care of. And on Wellness Wednesday, you can save 10% off all your health market purchases and organic produce. So check that out and don't miss out on an opportunity to save. Betsy, let's get to the cart cam, and we'll get Jim Simmons over here in just a second. Find me some gloves, Betsy. I believe in you, Betsy. Thank you very much. Listen, Betsy, I don't need small gloves. Big gloves. Bigly. Okay? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I believe that I know we've got salt because it might snow this weekend, and if you need salt for the driveway, right? And I'm assuming that we've got gloves and hats. Betsy is going to find this for us right now with the Toyota Muscatine car cam. And we'll get Jim Simmons over here in just a second. So, yes, Hy-Vee, everything that you need, with the Wellness Wednesday. Oh, there might be. Oh, I think we saw some socks. Okay. We saw some socks. That's a good sign. I know that we've also got that fun display of hats. I kind of call it the Cousin Eddie hat. Looks like something that Cousin Eddie would wear from Christmas Vacation. They're like $5.99. They're right there. And Betsy going to look for some gloves because I don't have any. And like I said, I don't want to buy it. Like, I have the Carhartt winter coat. It's the warmest coat ever. It's real boxy. But you put it on and you start sweating. It's so warm. I don't want to buy another coat because by all accounts, we're having a mild winter. Jim Simmons sitting down. And there we go. As I said, Ryan Broderson, you were here. You heard it. Hats and gloves right near the giant Frito-Lay display. Is Jim Simmons' mic turned on, Chad? I want to ask Jim Simmons, you're prepared for winter. You even have the ear thing that goes around the back of the head. And every time I see you with that, thanks, Holly, I think you're smarter than I am. Your ears are never cold.
I can't do cold ears.
Yeah.
Like many kids my age, when I was a kid, I had tons and tons of earaches,
Right.
And we didn't.
Terrible.
Back then, I don't even know if they had such things called tubes, right? So it was a lot of medication, and I just couldn't get over it. Now, when it's cold, I still have issues, So I just don't let them get cold. I'm always wearing, and I love the wraparound ear muffs.
Oh, I can't,
because it doesn't mess your hair up.
That's exactly right.
It's important for a guy like you.
No, you're so right, and that's where I'm a fool because. Again, I've known you for like 5 or 6 years now, and you always got that. Brian, I almost need you to Google the ear, whatever it's called, to wrap around the side, because it's genius. It doesn't mess your hair up.
It doesn't mess, exactly. You know what is funny is like when I was riding our trike when it was getting cold, I'd actually put those on underneath my helmet, and it would just set right there. It was great.
That is genius.
Yeah, they were great.
A lot smarter than I am.
And there's good ones and bad ones. The 180s are by far and away the best.
It's called the 180. Is what you're
180s,
saying?
Yeah, it's a brand, and
Ryan,
they're the best. And they're
180 for the ear thing.
Yeah,
whatever it's called.
They're cheap too. I mean,
I'm in. I'll buy a case
or something. Of them.
Yeah. I was just saying when we started the show, it's so cold walking from your car.
Oh, it was.
My hands were freezing. Boom, there it is. Look at that. It's perfect. It's like alpaca wool or something.
Yeah, and it
shaved a sheep.
The absolute warmest ever.
Absolutely. All right, Betsy's gonna. Oh, thank you, Betsy. Oh, you're so wonderful.
Oh,
look at that. That could be perfect for baby Lucy, right? What is that? A cupcake? Is that a smiling cupcake? Cody, come in on that right here. Where else are you gonna go and buy your groceries? Jim Simmons and a smiling cupcake hat. Ain't nobody got that in town.
No,
they don't have that down the street. That's pretty practical. Look at that. Zoom out a little, Code Man. That's a lot of face for everybody at home. Yeah, this isn't going to work for me in the winter, though.
No.
But this is what I was saying. I don't want to... This is the glove I was talking about. These are the gloves I feel like we all had when we were kids. You put these on.
Definitely.
You can't do anything with them.
Right.
They're so bulky, right? But this right here, this is what it's all about, because it's got that technology where on the fingertips you can still access your touch
phone.
device.
Yep.
So whether it's your phone or your Fitbit, isn't it just wild to think that you got to have this stuff in? Oh, these are nice in a grocery store. How much were these, Betsy? Do you remember? Did you say they were free? Betsy bought them for me. Very nice. They are an extra
thanks,
large.
Betsy. That was really nice of you.
We'll take it out of the.
I'm more of a medium.
Go get some more. Okay, so I got the Voice Muscatine newspaper in my mailbox yesterday, and I was certainly aware of what was going to be on the back, but it was fun to turn the paper over. Great paper this week, by the way. That team's doing a good job.
Yes.
Flip the paper over, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when they see I Do an IL2, a wedding at Hy-Vee.
Yeah.
But we have nearly 20, and it was 12 yesterday. It's almost 20 today, and there's the ad. Jim, we've got almost 20 entries for this, and it makes sense because it's a whole wedding.
Yeah, it's just fun, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, this is just something that actually you and Steve I think it was Steve's idea, and then
Steve's had this idea for years.
Yes,
yeah.
Brainstormed it, put it together, and we needed you to help us manage that whole thing. And,
sure.
And with you and Steve together, I think it's going to be super cool. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking at I'm staring at the place that we're going to do it.
Literally in aisle 2 right now.
Yeah, and we're going to put up some chairs. It's going to be super cool. I think it's going to be something special for somebody who maybe isn't as fortunate as others and don't have a place to do it or don't have the cash to do it or whatever it is. We just want to do it here.
That's,
and
honestly,
have fun with it.
There's a couple entries that we've received, and we know how much a wedding costs. We want to be in the running, and I appreciate that honesty.
Yep.
And when we say that it's a $5,000 value, you know, when you're going to have your wedding, then you got to figure out where your charge is usually late. Then you got to pay a photographer. Then you got to pay a DJ. And if it's me, millions of dollars to DJ a wedding.
Yeah, 5,000 would have been the DJ.
No, would have barely scratching the surface. Photographer. I mean, there's so much cost. I remember the week of my wedding, Jim, nearly 7 years ago. I got a call from the venue, and I love the place where I got married. Great place, Skellington Manor in Rock Island. It's also a haunted house, which is kind of fun. They called me and they were like, "Hey, do you want regular napkins or linen?" And I was like, "I don't know. How much are the linen?" And they were like $90. And I was like, at this point, yes. But that's what I'm saying. Like, those little things seem to always happen with a wedding.
Yes.
And it was a question that I had to answer. So for somebody to have an opportunity, yes, it is a little silly. But like I've been saying, people get married. I can probably Google 5 weddings that have happened at fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
And nothing against fast food restaurants. We're going to do a better job here at Hy-Vee.
I mean, we got the club room. That's where we're going to have the reception. I mean, this is a cool deal. To me, I don't think it's silly at all. I think it's super cool.
Awesome.
I think it's something that people will enjoy to do.
Yep.
And we'll have, we're not shutting the store down, so there's going to be people going around seeing what's going on. So that might be a little different.
Sure.
But your family, your friends can be and we're going to have it right here. You're going to be the guy doing the
officiate the ceremony.
Yeah, you're doing the whole thing, and it's really cool that we can do this and do it well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be really neat. I'm excited about it.
We can have the catering, the bakeries right over our shoulder.
Yep.
Floral. I mean, Hy-Vee is set up to do everything that you need for a wedding.
Yep.
This is just a chance for somebody. I don't know. I'm really happy, and I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised with the amount of entries. Somebody had sent one yesterday and then followed up and said, "Is the wedding in the store?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely."
Yeah.
But again, we have this club room which is across away from us, and it's private enough to where if you close the door, I mean,
you wouldn't even know
you wouldn't even know that you're exactly. That's what I'm saying. So yes, it'll be a good time for sure. I anticipate we'll get even more entries now that the ad we had put it on Facebook, got the entries, and then with it on the back of the newspaper, we'll only get more. So that's going to be a lot of fun for sure. I'm looking forward to that, and to being able to try something just unique, right? I mean, I don't know if any other Hy-Vees have ever done this before.
I don't know.
I can't say that they have.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know that they have.
I mean, Hy-Vee has done cool stuff as a company for years. 5 years ago or so, I drove to one of the Hy-Vees in Davenport because they had the guy from Cake Boss there doing a meet and greet when they were selling the Cake Boss cake mix. I'm like, so Hy-Vee's always done fun stuff like that as a company, but this is maybe the first wedding that'll ever happen.
Yeah, I don't know if it is the first or not. It'll be the first one here.
Yeah.
And we will do it very, very well. So I'm excited about that part.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of these couples are just thinking, I get an opportunity to have a wedding taken care of, and then you're going to let me stay at the Merrill downtown for free, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
How cool
a
is
beautiful
that?
hotel. The night of, so the wedding is going to be on February 23rd, and you get to stay at the Merrill Hotel, and then my friends for nearly 12 years from Mary's Diamonds and Jewelry going to take care of the groom's wedding band, which my wedding band was about $350. I don't, you know, that's another great savings, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
the stress of this is gone.
Virtually no stress.
Yeah, you just got to maybe get the dress and invite the 40 or 45 people, and that's it.
Yep.
We're
That
doing
easy.
all the heavy lifting. It's awesome.
Yes, that easy.
A couple other things I want to talk about while you're here. Tomorrow's Thursday, the Thursday night steak dinner.
Yes.
This is something that, you know, people don't want to have to cook during the week. I understand. Everybody's busy. The opportunity to come to a place like Hy-Vee, and whether you want to eat here or take it to go,
right.
being able to pick up a cooked steak dinner for the price that it's at for
Yes.
an 8 ounce or a 12 ounce, it's awesome.
Yeah,
And we got the
can't
little
beat it.
menu on the screen right here.
Yeah.
This week we're doing a choice New York strip steak dinner. Keep it right there for a second, guys. This choice product, sometimes people don't understand. Like, I see this choice reserve or this choice in the meat department, it means like literally the best, the highest quality.
Yeah.
So not only is it a steak dinner, it'd be one thing if it was just a steak dinner, but Hy-Vee says it's going to be all the choice products.
Right.
That's a big deal.
Yes, it is. There's different grades of meat.
Right.
And choice, there's prime,
Okay.
which is the highest standard, which we do
Sure.
carry in our meat department.
Yep.
And then there's choice. That's the next step down, and that's what we're using. But it's usually the standard in the meat shops.
Yep.
And with us, ours is even better. We have it trimmed. When it comes into our it doesn't walk into our door, but when it comes into our store,
Walked in at one point.
It was. Yeah,
It did
was. But not in here.
Right over here, Mr. Cow. Hang tight for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that fresh.
It's actually trimmed to certain specs. It's
Sure.
not just, and it's Midwest beef.
Yep.
It's not something that's, I mean, it's actual Midwest beef. We actually have it down to those kind of specs.
I
And
love it.
It's great beef, and there's an opportunity to try it for a dinner. I mean,
For
where are
a
you gonna
dinner
go
for
and get
$8 or $12.
Yes.
We've got a lot of good information throughout the store. This is perfect
Yes.
use of the cart cam. Get to know your grades. Jim talked about prime. We're talking choice with the Thursday night steak dinner, and then Angus on there as well. And it's all USDA choice. So for whatever reason, and all I want to do is change this so that people understand that when you say things like Hy-Vee has the best meat department in town, period, it's true. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is.
where we're sitting, and Betsy's got the cart cam right over there, we can see this beautiful run of cases.
Yep.
And I don't care where you're at, it never looks better than it does here. The
Yep.
variety, the quality, the guys back there right now, I can see Jeremy and Rick and Chris. Jim, they might care too much about.
Yeah, Mike and his team
The
do
meat
an
shop.
absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic job. And there's just certain things you have to, I mean, they just take a lot of pride. You can tell the way they cut the meat. They can tell the way they're behind the counter. If you got questions, they're willing to answer them.
Yeah.
I mean, they know how to cook it too. I mean, if you
Oh,
want to know
yeah.
temps or whatever,
Yep.
we have it on a card over there. Then I tell you, the key to any meat is how you cook it
Yep.
and the temps you cook it to, and using a thermometer.
You got to
mean,
have a thermometer.
I
Digital
can't-
thermometer at the house right here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I've had a digital thermometer for literal years, and that's the reason my steak comes out the way I want it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not fried or cooked, overdone. You know, it's just perfect every time, because as soon as it hits that temperature, I know it's good. Boom, it's off the grill.
Yeah, I tell you
And-
what, it makes a big difference. And the other thing
Yep.
that, like anybody would tell you that's in restaurant business, Kim Beckman, whoever it is, would tell you, the other thing is you got to let it rest.
Yes.
Sometimes we get so excited, like, oh, look at that steak, it's temp right, and then you cut into it and the juices run out, and you're like, what just happened? That's where you got to let it rest for a little bit. Oh, but look at this, Breakfast of Champions coming around the corner. Betsy making a special delivery. What do we have, Betsy? Yeah, we have some good looking. So again, just look at the marbling, some of the fat in there. And for someone like myself that's on this diet with a lot of protein and cooking it in real butter, and you know it's January, I'm cooking the majority of the steak at home. I got the grill pan. a little bit of real butter, and then as soon as the steak is out of the pan, guess what I'm throwing in there? A little bit more butter, and I'm throwing in my vegetables to get a little bit of that steak flavor on that vegetable. Ain't nothing wrong with an asparagus that tastes like steak, right?
Yep.
It's fine with me.
Yep.
I mean, and that's just perfect right there, right? The pièce de résistance. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Hy-Vee should be known for the quality of the meat department.
Absolutely should.
I mean,
it starts with a great piece of meat.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it does, and then it's up to you to make sure that you got the thermometer and make it work.
And with the Thursday night steak dinner, to be able to come in again for $8 for an 8-ounce, 12 ounce for a 12 ounce with a baked potato and a vegetable. I mean,
$12 for a 12-ounce steak,
right?
And your sides. I mean, folks, you can't buy it for that.
You could take it, sit down in the Market Grill Express, grab something to drink.
Absolutely.
Grab a draft beer at a very reasonable price. This is it, right? Walk in if you wanted to call ahead, if you were going to get dinner for like 4, whatever you got in your house. I know that they'll take care of you, and just know that this is going to run, that Thursday dinner, steak dinner, through the end of March.
Right, every Thursday.
Yeah, I am so tempted to just take that and be like, Kim, can you cook that real quick?
Well, hey, you can do that.
Right, you certainly can. How was work today? Well, honey, I bought gloves and steak. Where's the steak?
Had it for breakfast.
My stomach. That's right. It was before 10 a.m. It only seemed right. Okay. Last thing while you're here, Ryan, the Hy-Vee gas deals for January. I want to put the deals on the screen. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I experience it at least once a week. I find myself in the gas station, and whether it's Terry or Randy or Paula or Janet, Jim Simmons, the people at that Hy-Vee gas station, unbelievable. I said it yesterday, and it's true. There's no other gas station, I'm going to say in the Midwest, that has the quality of customer service as they do. They know every single customer.
Yeah, they're awesome.
It doesn't make sense how they know everybody's name when I'm out there, and it happens. I'm in there getting gas, and I'm getting a drink, and they're saying hi to everybody that walks in.
That's right.
I don't get it.
Well, you can't. I've said this 100 times at our meetings. We don't have the newest gas station. Right. I mean, let's face it, it's wore out.
Sure.
And we're working on that, but we're still super busy. And our customer count's up, and it's not because of a facility, it's because of the people. And Terry and her team are amazing. I mean, I've never seen any, when you walk in, hello. They might not know every single person's name, but it's hello, how are you? What can I do for you? I mean, they don't miss anyone. Randy's, he's fantastic. Guys, he's just on it. I can't walk in there, and he might not even know it's me at the time, you know, but he'll say, hello, how are you? And then he sees me, and then it's like, hey, Jim, it's just automatic for those folks to make sure everything's good. And it is a small little space out there, but she offers great deals.
Holy moly.
I mean,
ridiculous.
Just to fill up here, if you go inside and pay, you get 5 cents off right then and there on your fuel saver. They add it for the next trip. So there's so many good things that they do, a lot of great deals that you just showed. And the beautiful thing about, to me, the gas and fuel saver right now is, with gas being only $1.95, $1.99, wherever we're at, the beautiful part is you can get it free now.
So many people are.
Yeah.
I was excited with 35 cents off a gallon the other day. I have 15 cents on the fuel saver. We were talking a lot about the Hy-Vee app yesterday, and I was showing people kind of how to use it, and that it will track it for you.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's people that are paying a penny for 20 gallons of gas.
Right.
We see the pictures of the receipts all the time.
Exactly.
So when I'm bagging groceries and I hear whoever is running the register, the cashier, say, do you have a fuel saver? And it's maybe 1 out of every 100 people say no. Sometimes I jump in and I'm like, I don't want to be rude, but you just missed out on, do the quick math, 40, 50 cents off a gallon.
Yeah.
And just right there, from October to December of 2018, $190,000. And that's not that's what they redeemed.
That's what they redeemed, exactly.
Almost $200,000.
Yes. So it does work.
And I will say this until I'm blue in the face. You should only use your fuel saver at Hy-Vee gas, because, like Jim said, if you pump, most of us will pump at least 10 gallons of gas. They put 5 cents back on your fuel saver. Whether it's the card or I use the one on my keychain.
Me too. I do too.
Yeah, I don't even know where my big card is. I just got the little one.
I do. My wife has that one.
Okay, perfect. Do you ever have a thing where she uses the fuel saver before you do, and you're
yeah. Well, sometimes it goes the other way.
I was gonna say.
I got questioned the other day. Hey, did you use a fuel saver? Yes, I did.
Questioned.
And it was
awesome.
only because she wanted to make sure it got used. It wasn't because I used it. It was funny though. I loved it.
Did you use the fuel saver?
Yeah, and it went from I think I had $52 in my tank. Yeah. And I ended up paying like $29.
That's unreal.
I mean, you don't think about it,
right?
I mean, but that's a lot of money.
Oh, it adds up.
And it's so easy now to get it for a penny.
Yeah.
Because I think it's more fun. I know when gas is $3 a gallon, everybody's trying to figure out a way to save money.
Right.
But I think it's even more fun when gas is like cheaper.
Yeah.
Not cheap, but cheaper right now, and you can get it for free.
It's awesome because then what people get to do. They save all the money on the fuel saver card, then they go into Hy-Vee gas, and they're taking advantage of those deals on the roller grill items, or the Caribou coffee, or the Bang energy drinks, which I need to try a Bang energy drink. I can't believe how popular those are.
Dude,
it's ridiculous. We had there's also a text club for Hy-Vee gas, and one of the deals was for one day they had like the Bang energy drink for 99 cents, and I probably got 100 people to sign up for the text club because they just can't get enough of this stuff. There it is right there.
It is. It's the most popular drink in the store right now.
It's flying off the shelf. And it's technically, it's in the health market.
Yeah.
So as we sit here on Wellness Wednesday talking about saving 10% off on your purchases,
there it is.
There's a lot of people this time of year trying to stick to that New Year's resolution. And with the health market here and the produce department, it's really easy.
Yeah.
And having a registered dietitian. And I know that it can get tough for people and they maybe will slip a little bit, but if you're truly trying to make a change, like this is a place that can be there for you.
Yeah.
Every day.
It is. It's hard to make that change though.
Sure.
And sometimes you just need help or you need a good start. I'm telling you. Yeah. Kara is a great starting point.
Oh yeah.
She can help you tremendously just walking the store and showing you help. Would help with. Maybe it's a low sodium. Maybe it's a diabetic situation they're in. All these things, and she knows how to walk you through it, show you you're healthy and still manage your health.
Yep.
So I'd start with her on anything if I was having issues here, and then you take advantage of the health market, and the beautiful part is part of the store. So you can still eat healthy.
Yep.
This is how you do it.
There's a lot of ways to get around that without sacrificing any flavor. Tag toast, which is great, love it. Looking for sweet potato wrap. Well, this is I don't know the product that we have. A lot of times I cheat with the Hy-Vee app and I use the product locator. What I did that night, 7:45, and I said, "Here's this sweet potato wrap. Do you know if we have it?" And you know what she said? Or find out first thing if we don't have it. It's the best, right? So for folks, if you're ever watching and you're thinking, there's something you want, just ask one of us, and we'll get it here.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm always having to ask somebody else.
Sure.
There's different ways of doing things that, I'm always tapping into the guys that do it every day. Yeah. And that's because
And this is that time of year again, right? With all these products and the lower calorie and sugar ice cream. It's just like there's so much stuff around.
How do I eat ice cream healthy?
Right. I was talking about Whitey's ice cream on Instagram. They had a video where they were taking red velvet cake and dumping it into the ice cream. And I'm like, I have that in my store, and I'm watching you make it. Is it keto friendly? Could you just put bacon in there? Thanks for showing the health market, guys, as I'm talking about cake ice cream.
That is super cool. The biggest thing we've added to that is the vitamin section.
Oh, vitamins are ridiculous.
Yeah, and anything you would need, I think we have it.
Yeah,
if not,
you're trying
to
grow healthier nails. There's a supplement for that, right?
There's a supplement for everything.
I am a huge proponent of probiotics for gut health, and I don't even know if people understand these probiotics. And having a healthy gut could literally change your life.
Yeah.
I'm someone that had a bad diet and in turn had bad gut health. So for a while I still had the bad diet, but I was taking a probiotic, so it's kind of not really balancing out. And then when I changed the diet, I still take the probiotic, and guess what? We've got it here.
Yeah.
So I love when I see people in that vitamin aisle and they're doing this.
Oh yeah.
And they're reading and they're looking and they're thinking, I was having joint pain, or I was wondering if there was something I could add to help my metabolism, or just stuff that'll make you feel better across the board.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
There might just be something you're missing.
Or if you need an acid reducer.
Yeah.
Right?
Man,
I don't know why my chest is on fire. Well, here's my favorite story from about 11 years ago. And let this be a public service announcement. Don't schedule a physical, and then before your physical, eat about 20 chicken wings and drink about 3 giant pops. I went to my physical. I was every bit of 24 years old at the time. And the nurse was like looking at me, and then the doctor came in and he was like, are you all right? And I was like, I think so. And he's like, your blood pressure is just really high. What did you eat before you came here? And I was like, like 20 chicken wings. And it's like, do me a favor. The next time you have a physical, and this is stuck with me. This is true. Next time you're going to come in for a physical, don't eat like that. Yeah. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
They usually want you to fast,
Yeah, of course they do. Not 20 chicken wings and 3. I mean, it was one of those pops that, the size of pops now, by the way. That's a whole other show we can talk about. A large pop is this now. You're like, I don't know what a straw is. But my poor blood pressure, I think the cuff was saying, ouch. So, yeah, what I'm saying is you're right. Health market, the vitamin aisle is so great. And then that organic produce, whether it's organic produce or not, on Wednesday you can save 10% off organic produce. And I know that there's a lot of people that will try something small, organic produce-wise, see if they like it better. And then I've talked to people that swear by some of the organic produce. Whatever you need, produce is massive. And it's just only gotten better, in my opinion, in the last couple of months. It looks really good. Those guys are constantly... I watched Toby yesterday. We're going through so many grapes. He was basically just restocking grapes all day.
Yeah.
That's what's so cool to me. Back in the day, there were 2 types of grapes. Now we got 7 types of grapes.
Oh, yeah.
And people can't get enough of them.
Yeah.
Right?
7 grapes that we carry.
Right.
I mean, there's probably 20 that we could order.
It's impressive.
Just,
Betsy's running through produce really quick again. I just like how it's set up. And for a couple weeks, Brian had his big gift basket station. And now it's kind of back to business as usual. They've got some good-looking displays of stuff and showing a little bit of organic produce. And then my favorites, the blueberries. Can't have enough blueberries in my life.
Yep.
Good for the brain.
The strawberries have been looking fantastic.
Yeah.
You notice that? I was shocked. The Driscoll ones are really looking good.
Yeah, and then just if you need peanuts and beer, right, you can get it there too. So.
And the reason we have the peanuts there is because we used to have bulk peanuts, right?
Right, yeah.
But now the peanut dust, you really don't want that in your store with all the allergies. So we went and found a different way of making sure that, hey, we got to have peanuts in here. And
it's amazing how many people are looking for the bag of peanuts, right? There's Julia doing some online shopping right now, right? So if you take advantage of that service. I had to buy a cabbage the other day. I was not excited about it. I don't like cabbage.
I don't like it
but my wife was making egg roll in a bowl, so I had to buy 1 cabbage. And I was like...
Isn't that beautiful, though?
It does. It looks really good, doesn't it?
Our team does an amazing job on that. You don't get that everywhere. And
even
Brian and his team are amazing. That wet rack looks amazing.
Things will happen like customer will grab something and like a single leaf of a lettuce or whatever will hit the ground. It's not there for more than 2 seconds. I mean, they really... I don't want to say they police their department, but they do a good job of making sure. I mean, I've done that move where you're grabbing an apple and then all of a sudden you got an apple avalanche. And you're like, oh, no. I'm like, I don't know what to do here, guys. I'm sorry. There's always somebody over there. They do a great job.
We definitely do, and that I'm really happy. That when you look at the wet rack and how beautiful it was, there's some places like that in our store that just are amazing. Like I always go to the deli case.
Oh, the deli
the way they
so
shave
fun.
the meat.
Right.
Oh my! There's just you don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I can go to 100 Hy-Vees and we're just the best at it. I mean, it's just so cool how good they are. And
it just looks so uniform. And ironically enough, we're talking about the deli. Delmer's got a webinar coming up at 10. I'm like, this guy, of course he can learn things, but man, they're just kicking butt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're really, that team right there, the deli is right there. They are really good at what they do. And I'd never have seen so many trays of meat and cheese. I mean, one day Sue was over here. I don't know if she did 100 of them or what, but I mean, everything they turn out just looks awesome.
Yeah, it was.
It's really encouraging to see because I look at that slicer and it scares the bejesus out of me when I see that thing. I don't even want to touch it.
Yeah.
They're just, I mean,
it's very safe, though.
I know it is, but for me, I'm like, I don't.
For you, I would just assume you not touch it.
Stay away from the slicer. But there's people that'll come in and have a specific, I want some meat that's cut to this size, and they do it for them. And there you go. That's what Jim was talking about, that uniformed look. Is something else, right?
Yeah.
It's just like pretty. I don't know how else to describe it, right?
It's just gorgeous how they do it. And Sue and Jen, and I mean, I don't want to. No,
they don't
leave
do a
them
good
out.
job.
But boy, wow! When they're here, you just know it's going to look amazing.
It's just sharp. That DeLusso product, the Hy-Vee product, the charcuterie stuff. the real deal, and then you come around the backside and it's just you're in cheese.
All your cheese, yeah.
Cheese everywhere. I like when we have all the samples out because I've walked by in the afternoon taking a sample, and then I get off and I'm buying the cheese.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, with a lot of the cheese, if people can try it, they will fall in love very quickly. Like, they'll appreciate. There's Delmer. We found Delmer. Undercover Delmer. Right, look at that. Here on his day off. All right, well, we'll get Jim out of here, and we'll wrap up the show. It is also National Apricot Day, so if you need some apricots,
there it is.
Come and see us. And it's National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that cool?
Yes,
Sheriff,
it is.
Muscatine County Sheriff C.J. Ryan on the show this Friday.
Oh, cool.
So we'll talk to C.J. He'll probably bust my chops for not having got him anything today. I even thought about maybe I run some donuts down to the police station in the sheriff's office just so that they don't have anything on me. Sometimes they like to give me guff.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of friends in law enforcement. Well, you know, I reached out to one of them yesterday to get a donation. I love when you can do this for, I'm on the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter fundraiser board.
Yes.
So I reached out to our friend Officer Whitney Pena with the police department, and they're going to donate a ride in a police vehicle to school for a kid. That is awesome.
That is.
For a kid to go to school in a cop car. We're also going to have one from the fire department, and now I'm putting Sheriff C.J. Ryan on the spot. But isn't that awesome?
That is cool.
To get I mean, those are just one of those fun things. We'll talk more about that in a couple weeks, but we'll let Jim get out of
sirens and everything.
I know.
I
Flip the lights on if you're giving the kid the ride
Yeah.
in the police car. All right,
awesome.
Very good. Let's go back to that aisle cam, and we'll show everybody what we're talking about in this health market and how great it looks. And shout out to Barb and the crew that are keeping an eye on everything. It's a lot. And I see that our friend Ricky Hetzler joining us on Facebook right now. Ricky, a couple minutes late, but I was talking all about my Eye Smile pop socket, Ricky. So let's say hi to Ricky and Megan and Jerry and Christy and Carmen and Sue and Cody and Julie. My cousin Julie watching in Chicago on the old Facebook. That's why I have my phone sitting here so I can see who's on there. All right, so National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. If you watch the show, you know by now that my dad, retired Chicago police officer, certainly no stranger to having, you know, people in law enforcement in my life. Chad, same thing. Chad's dad, right? Cop for a long time, yeah. So definitely recognize men and women that are choosing to have that job. It's a tough one, and I look forward to seeing Sheriff C.J. Ryan on this show Friday. National Apricot Day, and then randomly National Static Electricity Day. So to celebrate that, will you take a balloon and rub it on your head and then stick it on the wall? Have you done that recently? I have done that recently, and it still works. You do that move. It's kind of entertaining, mainly for the 4-year-old. He's very impressed. The balloon, and then right on the wall, and it stays put. One of the things that I want to mention, because Holly was off camera when our friends from Unity Point Health were here, but they're getting excited for the Get Your Rear Rolling event, and we're going to have a bunch of these flyers up front here at Hy-Vee, and you can see it on the screen right there. Get Your Rear Rolling, help strike out colon cancer. This is coming up soon, by the way. Saturday, January 19th at the Rose Bowl Bowling Alley. It is an 80s themed. Thank you. Wow, I love when you can do that, Ryan Broderson. My hand was getting, I can't be asked to hold a flyer for long durations. My shoulder gets sore. I am emceeing this event, and what Holly was asking me off camera was if I have any 80s clothing, and my answer is I don't know, but I'll certainly try and get some stuff together. I look forward to this for sure. So this 2 till 4 o'clock, and you can get registered. It's easy to do. All the funds will be granted by the Colon Cancer Coalition, to help pay for colon cancer screenings, awareness, and support for folks in Muscatine. And as it says right there, 1 in 23 people will develop colon cancer, unfortunately. One of those things that has a stigma around it that we don't talk about enough. Get your rear rolling. Come dressed to impress in your 80s. Get up. Holly Thomas Kaler, our dear friend here at the show, known Holly for a long time. She's your contact person. Get a team together and come to the Rose Bowl. I look at the 19th and I think about how much stuff I have going on that day, but I'm super happy, and I was very flattered that Holly and my friends at Unity Point Health asked me if I wanted to MC that. I look forward to doing that for them. And not a good bowler, pretty good MC, and maybe I'll have some type of. I told Holly I should get like an Axl Rose long wig to wear. I would be up for that. All right, very good. I got to help Delmer with his webinar, so we kind of got to wrap up here in a second. Thanks to Jacob Dornbush with Unity Point Health, Trinity Muscatine Public Health, and Jamie McLean. Appreciate their time. Both adolescent sexual health counselors making a difference in our community. Appreciate what they do very much. Ryan Broderson, I want to mention 2 things, and then the job board, certainly, because it is Wednesday. Bingo coming up soon, and Game of Thrones trivia. So if you like playing bingo and you haven't made it out to a bingo night here at Hy-Vee, I encourage you to join us. It's free to play, family-friendly, and we have a good time. We give away a $5 Hy-Vee gift card with each and every bingo game that is won. And in the course of about an hour, hour 15, I'll get through nearly 20 games of bingo. Do the math. 20 times 5, 100, right? So we'll give out $100 in Hy-Vee, $100 in Hy-Vee gift cards in $5 increments. I've had nights where people have won 20, 25 based on the amount of bingos that they have. So it's just something fun to do. We're in the winter. We're going to keep bingo going, and I hope they'll come out for that. And then last but not least, for sure, the Game of Thrones trivia. It's always good when Betsy jumps up and down off camera. Thank goodness we're not on network news or anything. I'd be so distracted. Game of Thrones trivia, Monday, January 21st. Starts at 6 o'clock. RSVP, a team can be 2 or 12 people, free to play. Prizes for first, second, and third, including that hold the door doormat. This will be fun. I know nothing about Game of Thrones. I've seen 20 minutes of an episode. I'm going to mispronounce stuff on accident. Don't hold it against me. Lannister, I think is how you say the one name. Winter is coming. Other Game of Thrones references. Dragons. Mythical stuff. I don't know. I really don't know a lot about it. But what I do know is we're going to have a lot of fun, and you still have time to RSVP for Game of Thrones trivia. Is that Delmer behind me or somebody else? Somebody else? Okay, good. Good deal. All right. How about the job board? Ryan Broderson, if someone is looking for an opportunity, Brooke McCullough at Team Staffing and the whole crew, they have over 100 jobs available. So if it's you or someone you know, 563-316-7636 or careers at teamssi.com. This, go back. I didn't even say what it was, Ryan. I'm talking too much. This is a part-time furniture mover, 13 bucks an hour driver's ed. Got to be good at lifting couches. I'll just add that. Moving furniture, not that easy. So, all right, Ryan, just yelled at him. Forklift openings, all shift, $14.28 an hour. Interesting amount, right? $14.28. It's a very precise number. Jenny, 563-316-7635, careers at teamssi.com. Walk-ins always welcome. And if you call Team Staffing or you refer someone to the job board, tell them that they saw it on Hy-Vee today. Maybe they'll give you one of those crisp high fives. Katie, last but not least, has a cleanup crew. This is Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30, $13.55 an hour. Pass the background check, pass the drug screening, which are easy. You get a job at a place like Hy-Vee. They do the little drug screening with the cheek swab. We're actually going to have HR guy Randy Beimer from Hy-Vee here on the show soon. Call Katie for that opportunity. Team Staffing, Lake Park Boulevard, across from Happy Joe's. They will take good care of you. They're nice people. Well, I'm happy. I got to check the price, of course, but I really... Oh, I could do this, can't I? Hold on, I'm trying to put the gloves on without breaking something, because then I'm absolutely going to have to buy them. And my wife's going to say, you know, we got a whole drawer of gloves. That's not how my wife sounds, but look at that. That's nice. Can still operate my touch device. Look at that. Very practical. Isn't that nice? I feel like I'm working a puppet over here. Hello. Yeah, these are nice. These are extra large. They're 3M. They're thin slit. And on a day like this, it's going to keep your hands nice and warm. Or if you just need the cupcake smiling hat, they come with little mittens. Look at the little mittens on there. Those are very cute. Again, they don't really fit me. I could use it as a thumb. That's my thumb warmer. Betsy, I need 4 more of these. I can't count. 4 more. And then if you want the giant boxy gloves, you know, I just feel like I can't do anything with these gloves on. I don't. I'll put them on for your viewing pleasure at home. Let me do this. This one looks like it's been tried on. Look at this. I can't even... Like, you can't even get your finger... We're going to lose all of our 3M endorsement money, but I'm not a fan. I'd rather have the thinner one. So if my Secret Santa is watching, thin gloves, okay? Thin glove, big hat. That's the takeaway from today's show. All right. Thanks for watching Hy-Vee today. Thank you to our friends from Public Health. Thanks to Jim Simmons, Hy-Vee store director. And we look forward to seeing you Thursday, Friday, and then we'll wrap things up for the week here. There is a chance for snow in the forecast. So winter is coming. Potentially Friday, Saturday, maybe some snow. You never know if these meteorologists are right. I don't know. It's January. We've been spoiled. So I would rather have it snow now than talking about snow in March or April. And I keep forgetting that there's just 2 pieces of steak sitting right here. I looked over and I was like, did someone forget their steak? And then I realized it might be for me. All right, we'll see you at 8:30 live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple TV, and Roku, or on cable weeknights 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. on MPW, thanks to Remax. This is Tony Tone. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see y'all very soon. Goodbye. Where is Delmer?
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community. Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.